Welcome all the respected sadhakas, salutations, gratitudes, congratulations, wishes. The 12 personalities of ours, Loka Sevanam, Dharma, Prema, Sthapanam, Vairagyam, Bhakta Lakshanam, Shishya Lakshanam, Mumukshutvam, Jignasutvam, Shrotru Lakshanam, Sadhakatva Nirnayam, Parishrami, Prerana, Shantamana. The six sources of blessings, Parabrahma, Ishvara, the Shakti Swarupani Mata, the Devata Gana, the Guru Parampara, the Shastra Parampara. Yes, beautiful Shastram, Shwethashwathara, Sambandha Bhashya, Pratamodhyaya. Discussion is still going on for clear, distinct understanding beyond any vagueness. The latest quotes are directly from the highest authority, which is being seen by us first time. That is from Brahma Sutras. Yesterday we saw how Adi Shankara Bhagavan quoted those four steps. In the first one, only through Jnana Moksha. Second one, the Vadana of the Purvapakshi. Third one, with his own 10 sutras, how he refuted. Fourth one, today we will see, therefore, what is the conclusion of role of Jnana and Karma in getting the mukti. Then again, he comes with the opponent one more objection, question, doubt. Patiently, perseveringly, the Siddhanti, the Guru Maharaj, even answers that again to help him and himself too. Brings lots of again references. More references, easier to remove the doubts from the heart. That's another beautiful chain of discussions. Discussion thought is one, but the references are many. Each of the references, though the sandarbha is different, words are different, but the knowledge is same. In that way, repeatedly, the same knowledge in different angles. When we study, analyze, the doubts that are there in various angles, they go away. Required conviction comes. Beautiful techniques, these are all. We will see further even today with the wishes and prayers that the main purpose of the whole study of the Shastra by God's grace should click to us. We do our Sankalpa prayer and before that 2, 3, 4 minutes of discussion. Today's discussion is what is spirituality, what is Adhyatmikata, what is Vedanta, what it talks about. You know, once in a while we have to revisit to our basic understandings, definitions. Spirituality, Vedanta, Shastra talks about that only which we seek, that alone which we want. And what you and I seek is the complete liberation from all bondages. All jivas are bound. All seek liberation. But in all other yonis, their seeking liberation is only a dream because for seeking and searching and finding moksha, what equipments are required and what sadhanas to be done, they are not easily possible available to other yonis. They are available and possible in the human yoni. Yet, a human being doesn't make use of those available things, therefore, doesn't make them possible, then he is missing that opportunity. So, the Vedanta, the Adhyatma Jivana, spiritual life means what we seek. That is the final liberation from all bondages. Okay. Then, what is the bondages? What is the limitation? What is it? We are just in that sense of incompleteness or limitation all the time. That is a bondage. Anything bound, anything conditioned, anything limited by any parameters feels that bondage. किसी भी parameters. So we are also limiting, conditioning ourselves by some parameters. That is how we are experiencing the bondage. In case of the zoological animals, animals in the zoological park, or the parrot in the cage, they are encaged by, they are put in the zoo by others. They are not bound by themselves. But in case of you and I, Jiva, let us not worry about other Jivas, let us worry about human beings. It is we only encage ourselves. Like those animals, as they are caged by other beings, therefore others alone can liberate them by opening the locks and doors and gates. In case of human being also, we are the ones we have encaged ourselves inside. Lucky that we alone can again open those cages, the gates, and find that freedom. This is the most beautiful possibility that is there in the human beings. And that is why we are seeking also. But the point is what? The basic problem is the ignorance leading to delusion. Because of these two, what's happening? Ignorance and delusion. What we are seeking is liberation, but what we are doing is that by which the bondage is becoming more stronger. चाहते हैं तो मुक्ति बट कर रहे वो जिससे बंधन बढ़ रहा है. Isn't it? One place we have already got the loan और उसको क्लियर करने के लिए और कहीं लोन ले रहे हैं और ले रहे हैं और लोन ले, उससे बढ़ेगा ही लोन का चक्कर. Isn't it? Living in absolute minimum, working double and hard, getting the money, clearing the existing role, loan is the intelligence. If not, that loan percolates to your children, they have to suffer in paying, or you have to take birth again to pay that loan. Loan to dena hi padta hai. Clearing the loan is more intelligence than creating more loans. So too, instead of removing the bondage, because we don't know where exactly we are bound, how to get liberated. Out of this ignorance, the delusion is coming in us, because of which the more binding activities or involvements, we are taking them as the activities of liberation. Vedanta talks to us about these things only. And as the intellect is developed to do the vicharana, like yesterday in 15 shlokas, Dattatreya Bhagavan tells Parshuramaji, the first step for moksha is vicharana only. Of course, the vicharana samarthya comes by the grace of Tripura Devi. So let us do her upasana. That is how he will do the text. That is in the evening class. But when the buddhi awakens to the vicharana samarthya with proper authentic information, then it does that vicharana. In that the jnana comes. The jnana about what exactly is bondage. The jnana about Therefore, how the moksha can be gained. When this picture is clear through vicharana, then we will not be in the delusion to do those things on the name of liberation, which bind us more and more, entangle us more and more. So, all Shastra Adhyayana Shravana should lead to the development of this authentic, correct direction to vicharana about what exactly the bondage, therefore, what exactly is the liberation, therefore, how to achieve it. Again, I am discussing what spirituality teaches, what Vedanta teaches, what Shastra teaches, what is Adhyatmika Jivana is that alone which we want. That we want absolute liberation, freedom from all bondages. This possibility is there in the human beings to achieve, not in case of other yonis. In the human being also, many do those things by which bondages become more rather than getting liberated. That is because of delusion, that is because of ignorance. What Guru Shastra are doing are teaching the knowledge by which the ignorance removed, by which delusion is removed, by which instead of doing those things which bind us, we start doing those things which actually liberate us. Okay. Now, in many ways, it can be put. How many? Every Shastra talks about this only. Therefore, every Shastra can be quoted and explained. But, Narayana, we will look at this. Okay. Anything which is infinite alone can be liberated. Isn't it? Anything finite is bound because in finitude there will be bondage. क्योंकि finitude ही bondage. So the experience of being unlimited or infinite, the experience of being unlimited or infinite, unconditional and infinite, is the experience of moksha. If we can understand this, it helps a lot. Anantatva and not conditioned by any limitations. That is experience, moksha. Where is there is santata, endfulness, conditions, that is bondage. Luckily, what is that Shastra Vedanta says is that conditionless infinitude, upadhi rahita anantatva, is our essential nature. We are actually that basically. Luckily, but instead of knowing it and being in that one with it, what we are doing is we are having the association with the conditioned and limited. That is called as bandhanam. And that association is the identity called as tadatmya. Then the ownership with it, and then trying to seek something through it. Then whatever in that upadhi is happening, taking them to be happening to me. These are the unavoidable consequences once the upadhi limitation svikarana is done. This is called as bondage. In defining what is mumukshata, आदि शंकर भगवान विवेक चूड़ामणि में जो डेफिनेशन देते हैं, एक्सप्लेनेशन, दैट गिव्स अ कंप्लीट पिक्चर. What very good. If one can have this subtlety to analyze every word and understand that shloka, we understand what is bondage, why how we are bound, and how the liberation is guaranteed, how the guidance on the liberation is given by the Shastras, and when we follow it, definitely we get the experience of that moksha. Good shloka, worthy of as many times as possible We can refer to it and contemplate on that. Mm. He says there, Ahankara Adi Deha Antan Bandhan Ajnana Kalpitan Swarupa Avamodhena Moktum Icha Mumukshuta. So Moktum Icha Mumukshuta. The desire to get liberated is called Mumukshuta. That's the whole discussion we are doing. But to get moksha, we must know what is bondage. That first line is the $1,000,000 point. Ahankara Adi वहां से लेकर देह अंता up to the body level. Be attentive. With this set only, we are bound to everything in the world else. The things or the beings or the places or situations or experiences or going to different lokas, birth to death, सारे बाद में आते हैं based on this. Therefore, if this bondage is cleared, this bondage will not be there. है ना? Like you have so many problems with the colleagues in the office. And they are all there because you are working in that office. अब वो ऑफिस छोड़ ही दी तो will you have any problem in the colleagues? Any example? You have problem with the neighbors. No, you are in that house, therefore the neighbor problem. उस घर को छोड़ो और कहीं जाओ, तो is there any problem? You have problem with the in-laws. That is because of wife. If you just talaq kar do, you will not have problem with them. In the same way, the all outer worldly bondages problems are basically because of this basic problem. If this problem or bondage is sorted out, automatically all of that gets sorted out. So what is that? Ahankara adi deha antan bandhan ajnana kalpitan. So here, so beautiful analysis. First of all, theoretically, we may not have logically reached the heights of contemplation and meditation, but theoretically, samajh leve. First point is, what is there is only Paramatma. Other than him, there is nothing. Point one. Point two is what? In that Paramatma, because he is not known, what happened is Kalpita. Kalpana happened of the thing which is never there. What is done the Kalpana? The whole universe is a Kalpana. अब हम वहाँ नहीं जा रहे. This अहंकार से देह तक का चीजों का उसके ऊपर कल्पना किया गया. Like on this gold ornaments are kalpita. And once one ornament का कल्पना हुआ, then in that ornament any number of parts are there. ये सारे फिर उसमें कल्पित हो जाते हैं. Let us say if it's a necklace, then the string, then the beads, then the hook there for that necklace to hold on the neck, they are all required for the expression as a necklace. All are kalpita on the gold, isn't it? Just we wanted to make a pot out of mud. Then the base of the pot, the side walls of the pot, the upper support to hold the pot, all of them are secondary kalpita born out of the primary kalpita, that the pot. What is there is mud only. Then on that, if we can understand these examples, same way, these all subtler than the subtlest, the ahankara, to the grosser than the grossest, the sharira are kalpita. And the kalpana is done it so perfectly substantially. Remember this, like somebody paints. That painting is so funny कि कुछ भी उसमें जो उसका थीम है वो दिखता ही नहीं. But there is some other banda. When he paints a paint, you are seeing the real picture there. है ना? Somebody when sings a song, plays a music, or tells a dialogue, or imitates someone, or does mimicry, they appear to be so realistic. पशुओं का आवाज कोई निकालता है, but he is not a pashu, but he is doing kalpana so perfectly that as if pashu only, real. Pashu means reality there. The painting also as if a real only. The dialogue delivered in the movie is as if a real only. As if real, understand this word. Satyam iva. As if real is important word. So this kalpana is done so realistically that it is forgotten that it is kalpana. देखो देखो pause करना इधर. After the kalpana is done, as if they are realistic, then we are attracted to our own kalpana, isn't it? And then the identity with it, it is me, the ownership with it, that it is mine. Then the funny notions that by using it here and there, we get some happiness or freedom. These subsequent things have come in us. They are called delusions. That is technically here in the shloka by Adi Shankara called as bandhan. So first set is ahankarad dehantan. Second point is kalpitan. Third point is bandhan. Where from they all have happened? Ajnanena. Of ajnana of what? Our essential nature. Therefore, what he says? Swaswarupa avamodhena. स्वस्वरूप हमारे निज स्वरूप का अवबोध करने से all these kalpanas and the reality given to the kalpanas and then getting bound to them through I am that thought or through they are mine thought or the thought that through them some sukha or moksha can be gained. All of that goes up. This is what million times through all examples we are told. The snake can neither give you fear nor can give you charm or happiness because actually it is not there. But the snake is giving fear to a frightened person, charm to a snake charmer because snake is kalpita and taken as real. फर्स्ट कल्पना हो गया, उसके बाद उस कल्पना पे सत्यता दी गई, उसके बाद उसके साथ बंधन हो गया. What's the bandhan there? That this snake will bite me wala bandhan. To other person, I can use this snake for charming the people, getting money from them. But actually what is there is rope. But rope का अज्ञान. Always it is a रस्सी. उसका अज्ञान हो गया, बस उसका ज्ञान नहीं हुआ. Now how this all झंझट झमेला of the fear with the snake, charm by the snake. After fear, so many things we do. After getting charmed also, so many things we do. All that is bondage. How did it goes away? Only the avabodha of the actual sarupa of that snake, which is a rope. In the rope, there is no samsara. Of the snake, either helping in charming or in frightening you. In the same way, the self is there in us beyond, which is one without second, which is infinite. Therefore, it is never bound. That freedom from bondage is eternal bliss. We have already. But there is a ignorance of that self. Therefore, the kalpana of the upadhis, then the bandhana with the upadhi. And we are not stopping there. With upadhi bandhana, we are seeing the whole world more charmed by it. Then we are going on doing kalpana, sankalpana in our mana of one after the other thing. and working according to those kalpanas. By this, from the actual liberation which is gained by realizing the self, we are going away in time and in place for thousands of lives. Vedanta, Shastra talk about this very crucial, subtler thing. इसको जितना जल्दी डाउटलेसली समझे, then हमारा whole life's orientation of doings are according to that to get ourselves liberated, then we are sadhakas. So मैं अपने स्वरूप को नहीं जानते हुए कल्पित उपाधियों से अहंता ममता रूपी बंधन से बंध गया हूं. तो मुझे ये कल्पित उपाधियों से किया गया अनावश्यक बंधन को छोड़कर मुझे अपना स्वरूप को जानने से सारे बंधनों से परमानेंटली मोक्ष मिलेगा. In dream, one after other bandhanas we go through. From all bandhanas we get out when we wake up. है ना, गर्मी है, सर्दी है, बारिश हो रहा है, बस स्टैंड में खड़े हैं, बस नहीं मिल रहा है, दुकान में गए वस्तु नहीं है, बच्चों को स्कूल दाखिला करना है, and parents are unwell. How many one after other bondages in the dream? They never end as long as we are in the dream. The moment we wake up to be a waker, all bondages have gone away because the cause of the bondages, the whole multiplicity caused by the ignorance that I am waker, is gone away. So too, when we awaken to ourself, because of the ignorance of self, whatever projected on the self, in which alone there were limitations, in which alone there were bondages, they all go away. दिस एक क्लिक होने तक हमको शास्त्र बार बार सुनना, सोचना, विचारण करना पड़ता है. एंड फॉर दैट वी हैव टू पॉज फ्रॉम आवर इन्वॉल्व इन द वर्ल्ड एक्सेसिवली. कहीं भी देखो, कोई समस्या का हल निकालना है तो रुकना पड़ता है, सोचना पड़ता है. तो वी आर नॉट रुकना, हम स्टॉप नहीं कर रहे, वी आर कंटिन्यूअसली इन्वॉल्व इन द वर्ल्ड outside as well as inside. Therefore, the actual vicharana, which gives us this knowledge, we are not able to do, even though we are literally outside studying the Shastras. In fact, if the Shastra Jnana has not gone deeply into us, we are not studying only the Shastra. Shastra Jnana is this aspect. Ajnana kalpitan bandha. Ajnana of the self, कल्पना ऑफ द अहंकार से लेकर देहांत, बंधना इज identifying with them with ahanta and mamata and trying to get sukha through them. It gives sukha but deflected. It gives sukha but temporary. It gives sukha but along with dukha. Anything like आराम से है but कार चाहिए. अब कार खरीदा और कार में बैठना है और घूमना है, फिर घूम के आना. तो सुख दिया वो, बट टेम्पररी था वो. और दुख है उसमें बिकॉज यू हैव पेड सो मच मनी फॉर द कार. और कोई इधर उधर ठुक गया तो वो ठोक दिया तो कार है तो स्क्रैचेस विल बी देयर, ठोकना तो होएगा. वो नहीं है तो धीरे धीरे वो ओल्ड तो हो जाएगा व्हीकल. नहीं नहीं, इट्स पार्ट्स विल नॉट बी अवेलेबल. Because the car is limited vastu in Desha Kala, our ownership of it, our wanting to have happiness with it cannot be permanent. A day will come where it starts giving us dukkha. Innately, there in its own nature, it is there. Example. Doesn't mean give up the car and become a car. Isn't it? In the same way, अहंकार से लेकर अन्नमय तक, these are all upadhis. In the at the highest truth level में, they are not there. When only gold is there, where are the ornaments? At the highest truth level. But on the gold, the ornaments are kalpita, है कि नहीं? उसके बाद we get bound. Never by the gold, but by the ornaments. है कि नहीं? To make ourselves decorated with them. एक तरह का मजा आता है हमको उन ऑर्नामेंट्स को रखने में. Ornaments click the name for the men folk because they don't worry about. You can take your example of clothes और your गाड़ी बंगला जिसमें आपको सुख की अपेक्षा होती है वो आपके लिए एग्जाम्पल है. बट द एनालिसिस इज सेम. द सेल्फ इज फॉरगॉटन, not self is projected, charmed and identified with that not self, and trying to seek moksha or sukha through them. So it is like from the आराम से freedom वाला total space में से we are entering into a cage and locked it and then say I want to be free now. We were free. We only entered into that cage. We locked it and we say we are bound. It is by your choice you got bound. Nobody has bounded us. Luckily, it's by our choice. Anytime we can open it and come out. Vedanta makes us realize it. That you, by your own choice, got bound. Now choose to get liberated and get that liberation through this process. To where am I bound now? I am bound by my identity with my upadhis. What is the liberation? Identity with the nirupadhika atma. But because with the upadhis, lives and lives of आदत हो गया. एक वही सत्य लग रहा है. दो, उसको छोड़ने को मन नहीं हो रहा. तीसरा, उसके द्वारा जो छोटे छोटे प्लेजर मिल रहे हैं ना उसको हम छोड़ नहीं पा रहे. एंड रिमेंबर, all the pleasures are the habitual pleasures like any drugs and drinks. उसमें तो डिस्ट्रक्शन ही है. बट बिकॉज पीपल गेट हैबिचुएटेड, दे गेट प्लेजर इन दैट स्मोकिंग इन ऑल दैट. वो तो पूरे तबीयत को, पैसे को, इज्जत को खराब करने वाले हैं. बट इट इज ए हैबिचुअल प्लेजर देयर. अभ्यास रमणम कहते हैं उसको. उसमें रमण नहीं है बट अभ्यास. लाइक टीवी, इट इज ए हेडेक, इट इज ए करंट वेस्ट, इट दिमाग खराब. बट आदत हो गया, उसके कारण उससे हमको मजा आ रहा है. You understood? Abhyasa Ramanam. Otherwise, same TV, same serial, same movie, same third class story. What is special? But don't we? So too with the husband, wife, children. डेली वही बकवास करते, को नया थोड़ी है. या प्रेम का बकवास होगा या लड़ने का बकवास. प्रेम हो लड़ाई दोनों बकवास ही तो है. But habit. He will not feel happy unless he scolds her. She also will not be happy unless he scolds her. शी फील्स नाराज. आज बता रहे मेरे पति को क्या हो गया, क्या हुआ? उसने मेरे को आज डांटा ही नहीं. इट इज वेरी डीप इनसाइड, ऊपर नहीं दिखता. डीप दैट अभ्यास रमणम कहते हैं उसको. सो विद द उपाधि लिविंग इन द वर्ल्ड आउटसाइड, इसका आदत हो गया. और थ्रू दैट ओनली ट्राइंग टू गेट हैप्पीनेस एंड लिबरेशन का आदत हो गया. But that is an impossible proposition. Therefore, we are not getting liberation. Therefore, our efforts to get liberation in the outer world are remaining only as efforts without giving result. This is called as samsara. सुख और आनंद और बंधनों से मुक्ति को जो नहीं मिलता है वहां ढूंढना, उसको संसार कहते. We are all in that. Shastras are again and again telling, but truth, reality, self alone is there. On that, all these are kalpita, but don't forget the point, as if so much realistic. that we are getting enchanted by it. Then we get identified with it. Then the subsequent notions of delusions of through this we can do something, gain something, enjoy. एक कार में मैं घूम के आऊंगा तो मजा आएगा, है ना? ये दोस्त के साथ मैं उधर चले जाऊंगा, मजा आएगा, और ये वस्तु में इन्वॉल्व हो जाऊंगा, ये सारे कल्पनाएं हैं. That's why Guru Shastra say, how can the Jada Vastu give you happiness? Bewakoof. Happiness is the nature of Chetana. चैतन्य का लक्षण है आनंद, जड़ का लक्षण नहीं है. Is it, a chair is not happy by itself. It is jada. You feel you are happy in the chair because you are also jada. कोई जड़ वस्तु को अपने आप में, लाइक शुगर, शुगर इज नॉट हैप्पी बिकॉज इट इज स्वीट, बिकॉज इट जड़ वस्तु. आई इमेजिन that through the sugar I get happiness. That is my imagination. When the Jadavastu cannot give happiness to itself, how can it give me? But I don't want to think in these lines. Sugar gives sweetness, not happiness. We misplace the sweetness by happiness. If these intricate things, if we can sort out on our seat of contemplation, every day one or two these intricacies we should sort out. है ना? एवरी डे एटलीस्ट वंस इन 3 or 4 days एक या दो इस चीजों का गुत्थियों को सुलझना, है ना, उलझनों से सुलझना. वो सिर्फ विचारणा अलोन डज इट, अनबयास्ड इंक्वायरी. दैट्स व्हाई यस्टरडे दत्तात्रेय भगवान का क्या पावरफुल था वो 15 श्लोक वाला सेट. How clearly he gave so many examples that if the vicharana is not done, you will never get liberated from the bondage which is created by avichara. See what we studied so many times? Avichara kruto bandha vicharena nivartayet. We bound people without vicharana about where is bondage, what is liberation, are running towards those things only which further bind us. That's why they give the example of that mirage water. You are thirsty already, and to quench the thirst, you are running behind that mirage where there is no water. Instead of removal of the quest thirst, it will increase only. But हम सुनने को राजी नहीं, बिकॉज हमको दिख रहा है कि वो पानी की तरह. Here, pani means that which is a removal of my incompleteness or my bondage. I am incomplete and bound because I am thirsty. When the thirst goes away, the incompleteness becomes completeness, bondage is removed. For the thirst, the liberation is from the water. Therefore, water is appearing there, I am running. So, to the jiva in me, he is thirsty, hungry because he is limited in upadhis. Okay, and he wants to be unlimited. He is seeing the kalpita vastu of Jagat and he thinks when that is possessed, there will be liberation or moksha. Like that person or deer goes on running behind that mirage water, never getting water. So too, you and I go on running behind the kalpita Jagat of Vastu and Vyakti to complete ourselves and we remain incomplete only. Because the direction of pursuit itself is wrong. Remember, we seek happiness and liberation. And we are what we are seeking. That we are the nature of happiness and we are eternally liberated being. Focus on that, avoid in that. Theoretically understood. Then, from wherever we are caught up, उस वहां से उतना पीछे मुड़कर आना पड़ता है. कोई डेस्टिनेशन से 10 किलोमीटर दूर गया तो उसको 10 ही किलोमीटर वापस आना पड़ता है. कोई 100 किलोमीटर दूर गया, 100 दूर वापस. कोई 10,000 किलोमीटर दूर गया तो उसको उतना. डेस्टिनेशन तो सबके लिए एक ही है, अपना ही आत्मा. But how much time, efforts it takes depends on how far they have gone from that self, the destination. So there is no competition, comparison between two individuals. You, your life. The other fellow, his life. Me, my life. My bondage. I have gone so far from the liberation, that is my own self. So I have to come back to myself. The three techniques of coming back to myself is one, don't go further first of all. Again, अब रुको अभी दूर जाना. The Durjana is still in the world with reality given to things, beings, relations, involvements, indulgences. This is going more further away. Then slowly, by giving up all of that, start coming nearer. And here, though we talk about the near and far, the language talks about the time and distance. Actually, it is only the understanding or the realization. I am the self. इसमें ना कोई देश होता है ना कोई काल होता है. बट देश काल लग रहे हैं क्योंकि देश काल के कारण हम दूर गए अपने सेल्फ से. Isn't it? At this very moment, I can discard all upadhi tadatma and say I am the infinite self. You are liberated already because that's a fact. Yeah, करके देखो कुछ नुकसान नहीं होता. But the ifs and buts we have so many. Then it takes time. What Guru says on the first day of class sadhana, if you do it, first day only liberated. But we don't do sadhana because we have doubts. As long as doubt is there and we don't do sadhana, so long we won't get liberated, even though we are with the same Guru for 10,000 lives. विचित्र है ये वाला. Anyway, today's our discussion was just to become little once more aware कि what is Adhyatmikata. In that we talk about Bandha Moksha, what is Bandhana, what is Moksha. Mm. Just because we studied or heard once, no guarantee that the whole thing is understood, accepted by us. Therefore, we have to give guarantee to ourselves to think about these things as many times as required till the understanding becomes pakka. That is what is vicharana. I am the infinite, all pervading self. I am like a bird who can fly high in the sky, but now I am caged in this pinjara. I am caged in अहंकार से लेकर देह तक का बंधनम. अब ये केज के रॉड्स जो भी है सरिया, सो स्ट्रांग दे आर. लॉक इज सो स्ट्रांग, तोड़ नहीं पा रहे अपन. सो टू द उपाधि तादात्म्य and through the upadhi, the habit of seeking sukha has such a strongly there called as vasanas from millions of lives. Therefore वो मुश्किल हो रहा है कि नहीं. वो जो भी ताला है, एक थोड़ा पत्थर कुछ लेके टक 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 थोड़ा थोड़ा मारते जाओ तो एक दिन नहीं तो 10 दिन नहीं 100 दिन में खुल जाएगा. In the same way, if we start doing the sadhana of rejecting upadhi tadatmya, sadhana of identifying with the self, little every day, tuck, oh धीरे in one of the lives it will happen. If we do. अगर वो बैठा है वो तोता है वो बंधा हुआ व्यक्ति कि somebody should come liberate me, it won't happen. Some instrument is there, कुछ ना कुछ हो तो तुम अपना कोशिश करो तो होगा. Isn't it? And with our free will and freedom as a human being, we can keep on doing koshish of rejecting upadhi tadatmya and living life at the upadhi level and identifying with the self. अपने हाथ में है ही है, इसको realize करना है. And we have to realize also that we can do and we must do and we start doing and we keep on doing till it happens. The whole struggle of all these classes are only to give us the clear understanding, conviction of these things. that I have to seek my own liberation by getting into the identity of my own real self, by decluttering, detaching from all the kalpita bandhana with the upadhi, through the upadhi to the worldliness. Sara worldliness amara because of the upadhis only, please remember. Upadhis are projected unreal things, projected as if so real. That is why, to know that they are projections unreal, the deep Vedantic logics and the Shruti quotations we have to study. That is where examples come to our rescue. 100 times we tell example, same example, but 101th time only it will be understood. Where is the pot in the mud? First, where is the mud in the pot? Everywhere. If everywhere mud is there, then where is pot? But isko hi pakdo till the point is understood. What you are seeing is only pot. What is the pot? Is it independent? No. Then it is made out of the mud. Yeah. Then where is the mud in the pot? Everywhere. If everywhere mud is there, then where is pot? Is it not only the imagination? But that imaginary pot seems to be more useful than the real mud in Vyavahara. Because you can store water, you can store other things. But that utility of the pot cannot make it more real than the mud, no? So the utility of the Jagat for our Vyavahara and temporary pleasures cannot give reality to the Jagat and Upadhis and cannot make the realities run unreal. इन बातों को इन एग्जाम्पल से हमें डीपली पकड़ना है. So the whole world can exist without Paramatma. Satchit Paramatma, no? Point one. Point two. Where is Satchit Paramatma in the world? Every nook and corner. If alone, he alone is every nook and corner, then what is Jagat? Kalpita. Then how can Kalpita Jagat give the real happiness? Continuous happiness, unconditional happiness. ये वाला deep thought, when it goes into very deep recesses of our heart, and वहां से जो वहाँ ignorance है, delusion है, उसको उखाड़ेगा मानो from the roots. अरे बाबा, first of all, the Jamela Janjat that I was unnecessarily running in the world outside, that goes away. Exactly this is what is done by Bhagavan Sri Rama in the evening Vairagya Prakaranam. In that Vairagya Prakaranam of 33 sargas, the main topic is to stop us from involving in those things which intensify our bondage. What is a topic? And then Adi Shankar Bhagavan in Shivananda Lahari is teaching us then what we have to pursue. Again in Yoga Vasishta itself, once the Guru's turn comes, then Rama has learned to leave what is to be left. Vasishta will be teaching Vasishtaji to hold on to that which is to be held for moksha. सिर्फ अनात्मा को छोड़ो, आत्मा को पकड़ो. एज सिंपल एज दैट. राम जी सीख रहे अनात्मा को छोड़ने का. ब्यूटिफुल. ही हैज रिड्यूस द बर्डन ऑफ द गुरु हाफ. गुरु के पास जाओ तो ही कहते पहले अनात्मा को छोड़ के आ, मैं आत्मा दिखाता हूं. आप बिना गुरु की जरूरत का शिष्य खुद कर रहे हैं इसमें योगा सिस्टम में. ही हिमसेल्फ इज लिविंग ऑल अनात्मा. Isn't this? Everything has come there. बुद्धि का, मन का, वासनाओं का, शरीर आदि का, इंद्रिय आदि का, सबका वैरागी बता चुके हैं ऑलरेडी. So in this way, with our Shuddha Antakarana, with our Sattvika Antakarana, when we contemplate deeply, then the misunderstandings, delusions, they go away. This is called Vedanta. फिर भी इतना भी कह दो कि सडनली वो नहीं होता. Because 24 hours we are not in the mood of vicharana. We should be, But we are not. The moment the class is over, again we take up the garbs of a samsari, the worldly person, so truly sincerely that all these realities as if limited only to the book or only to the class. This is also another delusion. And we justify it. You understand? We give logic to that and all. But the fact is, no, any moment we get vairagya and leave and go, we are liberated. You understood? And in fact, by leaving everything and going for our liberation, we are liberating others also. Because when we are with the world, as much the world is bondage to us, we as a jiva also are bondage to the other world around us. जैसे मैं आपका दोस्त हूँ, आप मेरे दोस्त, तो जब तक मैं आपके साथ हूँ तो आप मेरे लिए बॉन्डेज हो। अरे भैया, तो आप जानो ना जानो, मैं भी आपका बॉन्डेज हूँ। Because of me, you are also not seeking the self. Just like because of you, I am also not seeking the self. So when I leave you and go, I am seeking help, getting liberated, and I am giving you also chance. अच्छा हो गया स्वामी चले गए, चल आत्मा को ढूंढते हैं. So by being in the world, we are binding ourselves and we are binding world also. By going towards the self, leaving the world, we are also getting liberation. We are giving others also chance to get liberation. Therefore, don't make the world to you as a bondage. You don't become bondage to world. It's little subtler, easily catchable. Nahi? Those who are living in an emotional world, world of relativities, world of extrovertedness, giving charm to that, reality to that, the lot of emotions in that, that imagination in the mind, इससे ये होगा उससे होगा इससे ये मजा आएगा ऐसे दिमाग जिनका 100% है for those people these intellectual things doesn't click immediately or easily. But unfortunately, there is no way than this that we have to study, we have to contemplate, we have to understand, then come out of misunderstanding, and misunderstanding created problems. दूसरा तरीका ही नहीं. And as a Manusya, we can do. So think some more time. Ahankaradi deha antan bandhan ajnana kalvidan swaswarupa avabodhena mokta mucha mokshita. And same text में भगवान शंकरा in other places instead of discovering or trying to discover, instead of doing the compulsory duty of discovering the self and getting moksha, those who are holding on to the deha and spending the entire life only for the deha, they are killing themselves. बढ़िया श्लोक है वो. I really love these shlokas of Vivek Chudamani and so many shastras. Anukshanam yat parihritya krutyam अनादि अविद्या कृत बंध मोक्षणम देह परार्थः अयम अमुष्य पोषणे यह सज्जते सह स्वम अनेन हंति. सो अनुक्षणम यह परिहृत्य कृत्यम, अनुक्षण जो कृत्य करने वाली काम है उसको छोड़कर, व्हाट इज दैट? अनादि अविद्याकृत बंध मोक्षणम. We have to get moksha from the bandha which is coming from anadi because of avidya. And how do you do that? By getting the vidya. So instead of anukshanam trying to get vidya, by which all the bandhana created anatma, we get freed. Instead of doing that, deha parartha. The body alone is I am. Amushya poshane yah sajjate. The one is fully busy throughout the day, throughout the life. Only in the portion of it, saha such person, asam anena. By this act of his, samhanti, he is killing himself. अपने आत्महत्या कर रहा है. So deha pararthayam amushya poshana means my body and feeding it, taking care of it the whole day, and things related to the body, they alone are given value and importance. Things are beings. That's called as ayam deha pararthaha amushya poshane yah sajjate saha swam anena hanti. This is how the meaning of Ekecha Atmano Janaha, which is said in Ishavasya Upanishad. And in this shloka, the definition is clear. Anukshanam, every moment, only one krutya we have. What is that? By gaining the vidya, avidya kruta bandha mokshana we have to do. And that avidya has come from anadi. And in that avidya, anadi se aane wala, what do we do? Upadi tadat. So anukshanam yat parihrutya krutyam anadi avidya kruta bandha mokshanam deha pararthaya mamusha poshanaya sajjate sahasvam anena hanti. These are all very deep, beautiful thoughts. क्लिक नहीं होते हमको because we have no faith in Guru, no faith in Guru Vakya. Because of the absence of that faith, the depth in our intellect, the poise in our intellect, the subtlety in our intellect to understand the truth of that statements coming out of the kind and compassionate heart of the Guru after he himself got liberated, we are not able to catch. लेकिन कोई सिनेमा हॉल में क्यों जाते हो? सिनेमा अच्छा है ऐसे श्रद्धा है तभी जाओगे. कोई होटल में क्यों जाते हो? इधर खाना अच्छा होगा ऐसे श्रद्धा से जाओगे ना. अब श्रद्धा नहीं है तो वी डोंट गो. इन वर्ल्ड वेरेवर वी आर गोइंग बिकॉज ऑफ श्रद्धा, एंड वेरेवर वी आर नॉट गोइंग बिकॉज ऑफ नो श्रद्धा. So simple. So too, we don't have Shraddha in Guru and God and their teachings. Therefore, we are not going deeply into that to understand. And we have Shraddha in the world. Therefore, 100 times getting kicked, still we go there. इसको थोड़ा वर्ड बदलना है. With regard to Guru God, it's called Shraddha. With regard to the world, it's not Shraddha, it is Bevakufi, it is delusion. Why insult the sacred word Shraddha here? ये बंदा श्रद्धा से सिनेमा देखने जा रहा है, मूर्खता से, आउट ऑफ डेल्यूजन इज गोइंग देयर. वी कांट से मूर्खता से, डेल्यूजन से इज गोइंग टू द गुरु. यू हैव टू से हियर इज गोइंग विद श्रद्धा देयर. थैंक यू. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम 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 सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यंकरवावहै तेजस्विनोवधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. यही इमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्ते नमः. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शंकरं लोकशंकरं. सुकृते दिकृते बहुधा भवतो भविता समदर्शनाल सदा अतिथीनमिव परिपालय मां भवशंकर देशिकमे शरणं. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वस्यादिलक्ष्यमेकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे. समस्त ब्रह्म भक्ति धर्मद्य आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुदेवताभ्यो श्वेताश्वतरपरिषदाचार्येभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्तं ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोध मोक्षप्राप्ति सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्धानां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम अनेक शास्त्र अध्ययन मध्ये श्री श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न वयं सर्वे मोक्षार्थं करिष्यामहे. ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकंठं नमाम्यहम्. प्रथमोऽध्यायः शांति मंत्रः. ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनौ अधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम अथ संबंध भाष्यम. Friends, in that Sambandha Bhashyam, Yesterday we have come up to this point कि अतएव च अग्नि इंधनादि अनपेक्षा. This is a final quotation given in Brahma Sutra to talk about the relation of karma and jnana in giving the moksha. Iti, having said this one, what it is done? Vidyayaha eva parama purushartha hetutvat. Vidyayaha eva parama purushartha hetutvat. Parama purusha is moksha. Hetu is the karana or sadhana. For that parama purushartha is vidya. Is to know and get abided in the self. That's it. Param Purushartha Hetutvat Vidyayaha. Then Agni Indhanadi Ashrama Karmani. You know, the Agni Indhana are the Ashrama Karmas. Which Ashrama? Obviously, Grahastha Ashrama Karmas. They are all Vidyayaha. For the Vidya. So Artha Siddhau. For obtaining of that Vidya. Na Apekshitavyani. They are not at all required. Iti. In this way, Purva Uktasya Adhikaranasya Phalam Upasamrutya. That point which is said in the earlier Adhikarana, the conclusion of that having given in this way, Atyantameva Anapekshayam Praptayam. Again the same Sutrakara, Brahma Sutra में कहा, तो इसका अर्थ क्या है? क्या even though we are not qualified for Vidya now, because of so many impurities in us, should it mean therefore that totally the karma has to be rejected? वो वाला अपार्थ आएगा. Therefore, now see the line of thinking which is happening throughout this Sambandha Bhashya, throughout all quotations, latest in the Brahma Sutra, we have to very attentive, matured to grasp it. Already we have seen it in so many ways. The summary of it is what? Kevalam Jnanam is the Pratyaksha Hetu for the moksha. Not at all karma. I am the self, but just know it and abide in it. Yet, for that Jnana, which gives the moksha, Jnana, which is a Pratyaksha Hetu for moksha, to gain that Jnana, the creation of the healthy atmosphere in us is achieved through the karma adi. Therefore, totally karma is never ever rejected. If it is rejected, Shankaracharya Bhagavan could have not done all this karma of establishing ashramas, mathas and writing all. These are all karma ही है ना, तो उनको ये नहीं करना चाहिए था. So what is the breaking of the delusion here? कि कंटिन्यू कर्म करते रहो, उससे मोक्ष मिलेगा, ये बेवकूफी से बाहर आना. Then come to the wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is only through jnana moksha comes. Then again in this there is a bevakufi. What is that? Without antakarana shuddhi, I can gain jnana. This murkhata we have to come out. Then the wisdom here is what? Only shuddha antakarana gives moksha. Now from this wisdom, another wisdom should come. That the antakarana shuddhi happens only through the upasana yajna swadharma done. And there another bevakufi have to come out, that the upasana yajna and other karmas are done for the outer results. From this murkhata we have to come out. They are all done only for antakarana shuddhi. Shuddha antakarana alone facilitates us to get the jnana. Shuddha antakarana we have to develop to get that jnanam. Jnanam alone gives moksha. So therefore, Shruti Mata Yaha, Sakshat Brahma Sutra only, it said for the moksha, jnana is sufficient. The karma is not at all required. When this sentence is said so ruthlessly and vehemently, the meaning is different there. Once that statement is kept intact, now we are adding the second paya to this vehicle, cycle or scooter. What is it? And yet, if the antakarana is not shuddha, never the jnana dawns in us. Never antakarana shuddha is a necessary sadhana. For that, the karma to required hai. That is why, in simple words, through the karma as karma yoga ityadi, antakarana shuddhi karo, uspad jnana ka siddhanta, jnana ka sadhana, jnana ka anubhuti. Which jnana? Atma jnana. And what is the Siddhanta Jnana? Atman alone is real. Everything on that Atman is projected. And therefore, what is the sadhana? The project is rejected by the Vyatireka sadhana, that the Atman is being identified with the Anvaya sadhana. That leads to the Anubhuti, that yes, I am the Atman, not anything which is projected on it. So, iti vidyayaः एव परमपुरुषार्थहेतुत्वात् अग्निन्दनादि आश्रमकर्माणि विद्यायाः स्वार्थसिद्धौ. Means, for the obtainment of vidya ultimately, na apekshitavyani iti. They are not at all required in this way. Purva uktasya adhikaranasya phalam upasamritya. First, the earlier अधिकरण में जो बताया है उसको यहाँ उपसंहार किया, वो टॉपिक हो गया. That the jnana is the pratyaksha hetu for the moksha. Then now comes the second topic, that everybody is not adhikari for the jnana. Some are there, like 20 students are seated. When they heard this, yes, Guru, I am giving up all the karma, I am taking up jnana, and I try and realize. 5 या 4 या 3 होंगे उधर. What about the 17? For them also, jnana alone is pratyaksha hetu for moksha. But they can't get the jnana like the other 3 forgot. So they have some things to be clear inside them. That is done through karma. See the swashtata. Now, how do we relate this with our own life? Throughout the day, whatever we have to do, let us do them only for Shuddhi of Antakarana. What is Shuddhi of Antakarana? The Jagat is Satya. I can have Ragadesha towards it. It should give me the Sukha. ये सारे चीज हमारे मन से निकल जाना है. And our identity with them, with the upadhi, वो भी धीरे कम हो जाना. That's called Antakarana Shuddhi. Consciously करना है. Like when somebody is washing utensil or cloth, it's not blindly they are doing. They are consciously washing to remove the dirt and the darkness. है कि नहीं? ऐसे अंधेरे में थोड़ी सफाई करते हैं. देखते हुए करते हैं कि to remove the male. So to remove the impurity, consciously we have to do the karma. And every time when she washes with that brush and looks at it, ये मूर्ख मैल गया कि नहीं. So to with every day's karmas we are doing, we have to ensure that थोड़ी सी मैल गई कि नहीं, हमारा अंतःकरण अशुद्धि चला गया कि नहीं. That conscious effort is साधना. कुछ भी अंदर में तीर मारे ओके तो अंतःकरण शुद्ध होना है, ऐसा नहीं होता. With the idea of antakarana shuddhi and with knowing that what is the meaning of antakarana shuddhi, then we do exactly those things only to with which the antakarana shuddhi is ensured. And we have to do it also. Vedanta में ना, we nowhere we are allowed to be sentimental, emotional, and nowhere we are allowed to be without awareness, without understanding. अंडरस्टैंडिंग के साथ, अवेयरनेस के साथ, सेंटिमेंट्स इमोशन को जगह नहीं देते हुए ही वेदांत साधना होता है. So in this way, the earlier Adhikarana said, main topic is concluded. That what the word is here? Swartha siddhau. For the siddhi of the jnana, the कर्म का जरूरत नहीं है. ये एक्चुअल पॉइंट है. वो कंक्लूड करने के बावजूद बाद में कहते हैं उपसमृत्या. नाउ सी द नेक्स्ट सेंटेंस. अत्यंतमेव अनपेक्षायाम प्राप्तायाम. इसका अर्थ क्या है कि कर्म की कोई भी जरूरत नहीं है. Then the same Brahma Sutra itself, for the one who has not yet become adhikari for jnana, recommends karma to him. Like in every of the Shastras. Those Upanishads and Gita, where the jnana is the hetu for moksha, he said, in that only the karma bhakti भी बताए कि नहीं. पर हमको पर्पस जानना चाहिए, लिमिटेशन जानना चाहिए. Purpose of karma is अंतःकरण शुद्धि. अंतःकरण शुद्धि is the limitation of karma. वे अंदर कर्म की जरूरत नहीं है. Take up the jnana. The karma has the other results. Don't get enchanted by them. Just like Ashtanga Yoga has other results of the siddhis and vibhutis, but they are not goal. Don't get enchanted by them like that. So here what said? कि प्राप्त्या फलम उपसमृत्य अत्यंत में अनपेक्षा प्राप्तायाम सर्वापेक्षा च यज्ञादि श्रुतेः अश्ववतु. It is not that totally not required. The yajnadi also have to be done for the antakarana shuddhi. Therefore, iti na atyantam anapeksha. Not that totally the karma has to be rejected when we are not qualified. नो द नेक्स्ट 5 minutes अटेंटिवली लिसन. क्या है कि दो ही बात है, यहीं से कल हम अगर नेक्स्ट डिस्कशन स्टार्ट करते हैं. Two important points. Beautiful. And based on what quotation of Upanishad raised by the Purvapakshi, Kurvanneveha karmani jijivishyat. That line is a central point for all the discussions which we are doing from last 3 or 4 days. Tomorrow it will conclude. New theme will start. तो कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषेत उपनिषद का सेंटेंस है. तो कीप ऑन डूइंग कर्मा एंड डिजायर टू लिव 100 years. यही कहा श्रुति. पूर्व पक्षी पकड़ रहा है उसको, क्योंकि श्रुति को डिनाई नहीं कर सकते इवन सिद्धांति. सो दैट सेम सेंटेंस has two different meanings for two different people. That is the way here the Guru is explaining. Sentence is same, but it can have two meanings different for two different people. That is what he said here. Therefore, utpanna hi vidya falasiddhim prati na kinchit anyad apekshate. Okay, when the vidya is obtained, then the tattva jnana siddhantik mila, then remain in that tattva jnana, then you are liberated. That process doesn't require anything else called as karma. So, utpanna hi vidya, when the vidya has come in our life, the siddhanta knowledge हो गया कि मैं आत्मन ब्रह्म हूँ, फल सिद्धिम प्रति, to get that phala of that, just establish in it, that's what is required. न किंचित अन्यद अपेक्षते, it doesn't require anything else. But उत्पत्तिम प्रति अपेक्षते एव. But before that vidya comes, the karma is necessary only. And for that, the quotation is given by the Shankara Bhagavan here, Vividishanti yajnena iti shrutehe iti vividisha sadhanatvena karmana upayogam darshitavan. Therefore, the vividishatva को पाने के लिए कर्म का उपदेश वहां दिया गया. So now concluding sentence अब मैं बता रहा हूं, फिर से कल आएगा कि कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि is for a anadhikari to get the adhikara of antakarna shuddhi. Kurvaneveha karmani sentence for a mukta purusha is to tell that he is a free person, whether he can do the work or doesn't do. When he does, he can do the papa or punya. That is the ज्ञान की महिमा बताने के लिए वो वाला मीनिंग है इस सेंटेंस का. आत्मज्ञान का महिमा ये है कि even that person does papa, he will not be bound. Even he does the punya, he will not be bound. He does the karma throughout, but never is bound. That is to say the power of Atma Vidya, the result of Atma Vidya. तो आत्म विद्या महिमा बताने के लिए ज्ञानी के लिए भी कर्म कर सकते हैं वाला मीनिंग. अज्ञानी के लिए पर अंतःकरण शुद्धि, he should do the karma. But once अंतःकरण शुद्धि comes, he should pursue jnana. Don't go on holding on to karma. And the last thing, don't do karma for further making the antakarna ashuddha. If you can remember these 4 things, I am not going to do karma for my antakarna ashuddhi. I am doing my karma only for antakarna shuddhi. With the shuddha antakarna, I am going to have the vidya prapti. Once the bauddhika vidya, siddhanti vidya is prapta, I am going to establish in it. Only these 4. Vedanta pura samajh mein aaya. Now do the practice of it. Wherever we are placed, in whatever situation, that's different for each one. But what each one will have to do in wherever they are placed is same. नया अशुद्धि मत बढ़ाओ, शुद्धि को करो, शुद्ध विद्या बुद्धि से विद्या को पाओ, विद्या में बैठ जाओ. Sit in that vidya. The vidya is that aham brahmasmi. Must sit in that. Don't become again jiva. Don't become again upadhi. Tomorrow we'll try to see beautiful thoughts here. It's a very important discussion. That's why at length I am going with patience to study the whole thing. मेरे life के लिए, as so many shastras are studied with due value respect, this also. We don't want to miss anything. Not that 100% we have understood and it is all remembered all the time, but at least when we are studying systematically, taking up the commitment of studying Shastra thoroughly, let us respect it, value it. Om, 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 Om. पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो परमशिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे ओम तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु। थैंक यू।